From Michigan to Arizona, small towns are standing up against foreign-owned companies taking their land. We first told you about how residents in Michigan protested against a Chinese-owned electric vehicle company buying up land. Now in Arizona, several farmers are raising a red flag, arguing that a Saudi-owned company is using precious water in the middle of the state's worst drought in decades. News Nation's Ali Bradley has the story.
Well, it's not going to help America much if other nations have the right to our natural resources.
It might be the greatest irony in drought-stricken Arizona. Liquid gold flowing freely, unchecked in most parts of the state, while some communities are sitting on dry, empty wells. Residents of rural La Paz County, like generational farmer Boyce Anderson, know all too well their precious water is a finite resource.
Now, are you worried about it drying up, being gone, goodbye?
Am I worried about it? Yes.
At least two foreign-owned companies are using the land for a crop that needs a lot of water to survive. Al Dahara, based in United Arab Emirates, and a Saudi company called Fondomonte.
Most of what is grown out here in La Paz County in this valley is water-intensive alfalfa, like what you're seeing as far as the eye can see here. And most of this alfalfa is exported out of the country. The crop uses so much water that Saudi Arabia banned it from being grown in their country, which is why Fondomonte is growing it in Arizona. The company is estimated to use enough water for more than 50,000 homes just on the state-owned land that they lease. Those numbers alone making the practice of foreign-owned companies farming the land a lightning rod in the community.
I stand in the middle of the fence because on one hand, I understand my constituents, taxpayers, property owners, they buy their land and they want to do whatever they want to with their land, okay? But then you have business, farms, who also have the same rights.
The issue of water rights has been fraught with controversy for decades. The belief here is our land, our water.
That water goes through the earth.
Many are worried about what tomorrow holds as they watch this valuable resource start to disappear and in many cases, literally leave the country.
Is there a direct correlation between what's happening with Fondomonte farms and these wells running dry?
I haven't done that. That's a great audit. That is a great audit that I would love to do.
The controversy over foreign-owned companies tapping into Arizona's water supply is not so simple. Not everyone is against Fondomonte.
It's being a good citizen in the community. These are rural, small communities, and that's what you need to do if you want to be a friend. And then the community will embrace you. If you don't, the community will not embrace you. And I'm not sure you want to live in a community where everybody hates you.
What they do over there affects us in certain ways, too.
Anderson feels similarly. He says Fondomonte is allowing him to use some of their water to feed his livestock. He doesn't blame the Saudis for his wells drying up. He blames Arizona and believes the state needs to protect local farmers and implement checks and balances to keep international conglomerates from snapping up U.S. farmland.
Going forward, we need to stop any land sales to foreign countries. Number one.
So that's the solution.
That would be, and we need to have the people in the government that would make sure that sort of thing happens.
Foreign-owned companies aren't just scooping up land in Arizona. A report from the USDA shows Chinese companies own nearly 400,000 acres of American soil. And while the U.S. economy largely benefits from its international trading partners, some worry property in the wrong hands could pose a risk to the supply chain and national security.
I think the military bases and ag land is some of the major concerns about people buying up a lot of land. We've had a lot of those conversations. We're going to continue to look at that for the next session.
Okay, I got my phone.
Go.
Okay, so Elizabeth, right now I'm going to be completely honest with you. It's 112 degrees out here. We're having some technical difficulties, which is what happened here, which is what the entire state is dealing with in this historic drought. So that's why these farmers are pushing back a little bit here, because they're saying the state needs to step in. So we know that the state has revoked 2 of these well leases that Fondomonte has had over some discrepancies in those applications. Now, another thing that we can tell you here is when we talk with the county assessor, they tell us the reason they don't know a lot about what's going on underneath our feet here with these massive aquifers is because they aren't able to do these full-blown audits. They have to audit all 24 farms, Elizabeth. They can't just cherry pick one and go after that. So the county assessor has told me they are lobbying and pushing for more money in the budget so that they can hopefully go out and actually conduct these audits and know what water is going where and who's using how much, Elizabeth.
Yeah, this has become a new priority in the state of Arizona just in the last few months. Ali Bradley, fascinating reporting. Cool off. Get in some air conditioning, for heaven's sake.